fast forward you, because I think one of the big, things that in particular I've heard you talk about is your brother and your family's kind of work in terms of Little Rock Nine.
Yes, that he and I probably have talked more in the last couple years than we did then, because again, my family's philosophy was that you do something because you think it's the right thing to do, but it's no big deal. So I have asked him what prompted him to accept the invitation to transfer.
Tell me, why was there an invitation to transfer? What high school did you go to, and what high school was he going to go to?
Well, I went to Dunbar High School, which was the black high school in Little Rock. And Dunbar had been the only school for many, many years, but a new high school for blacks only had opened a few years before Central became available. So my brother was going to that high school, and when the '54 Supreme Court decision passed and segregated schools were declared unequal and unlawful, and the charge was given to school systems to proceed to integrate as soon as possible. In Little Rock, the decision was made to start at the high school level. And my brother laughs now, we both do. When Dunbar was built, about the same time that Central was built, Dunbar cost around $400,000. Central cost over $1 million.
And so Central is a school for white students?
Yes, for white students only. So Ernest was saying that you don't have to be a genius to see that a school 3 times as big as yours could not offer 3 times more than your school did. So his decision to accept the invitation to integrate was based on the fact that he knew he could get more, even though our school, Dunbar, was excellent. And one of the reasons I have to interject, during that time, the professions that were available for college-educated black women either were teaching or nursing. And I always said, if you didn't like blood, then that was not your field. Nursing was not your field. But so that meant that the teachers that we experienced at the black high school could have been CEOs at any Fortune 500 company. They were just that good. But again, the physical limitations of the school provided the background that Ernest and the other 9 needed when they were given the opportunity to transfer.
So what year did Ernest transfer in high school?
It was 1957, and he was the only senior.
Okay, so he's transferring his senior year.
Yes.
And he's the only one.
Yes, yes.
Was your family anxious? Were they nervous? Was there discussion about this?
Yeah, he said that our mother and our father had passed a couple of years before that our mother said, if this is what you are committed to do, we will stand behind you. And actually, during that year, there was not a lot of discussion about what could happen. However, I do remember the first day that he was to enter school, Central. I was teaching, it was in my second year, teaching kindergarten. And my principal came to my room and said, Triopia, do you know about the rioting in Little Rock? said, the what? I said, people in Little Rock don't riot. And I was absolutely astounded when I arrived home. I was staying with a friend of my mother's whose husband was a principal in Baltimore. And we looked at television, and it just really blew my mind. And I immediately called home because I was concerned about my family. And my mother said, and she said it every time I called, don't worry about us. We are just fine. You have your kindergarten children to be concerned about. And that was it.